Hello everyone, this is Taliesin McKnight. How you guys doing today? A viewer requested that I make a video talking about the Magician Tarot card. So that's cool. So I thought that I would make a video discussing the meaning as well as the esoteric significance of the Magician Tarot card. Now, of course, tarot is a deck of cards, 78 cards normally, that is usually used for divination. Tarot is also used sometimes for games, karaoke, and sometimes tarot is used for magic, and sometimes tarot is used for meditation and path working and things like that. Now, the magician is the second of the major arcana cards. Although it's numbered one, the dot, the first manifestation. Now, I do talk a lot about the Kabbalah, y'all. Now, I try to talk about, when I can, I try to discuss Jewish Kabbalah. The Kabbalah like you find in Judaism. Because that's the original Kabbalah, But sometimes I go into the Hermetic, occultist, magical Kabbalah, because I look at it like a supplement. There's something there. Now, the Magician card. The Magician, what is the image on the Magician card? I've described the name. I've said it's numbered 1, even though it's the second card, it's usually numbered 1. The Magician, in most of the decks that you'll see today, is a copy of Rider-Waite and kind of the modern, where it shows him holding a wand pointing towards heaven. Above his head is the symbol of infinity. The symbol of infinity. He points down towards the ground. Before him is a table that has a wand, pentacle, sword, and cup. And he manifests his desires. Many times he has an Ouroboros, the symbol of the serpent with its tail in its mouth as a belt. And a lot of the older, like several hundred years ago, tarot decks, he was a stage magician. Now, what is the meaning in a tarot reading? In your average tarot reading, the magician symbolizes basically a magician. The magician creates his desires. The magician manifests his desires. So when you do a tarot reading, typically the magician represents your ability to create, to manifest your desires. Now, I would like to backtrack just a moment to talk about the Kabbalistic significance, or the Kabbalistic significance that is often thrown around. The Hebrew letter Bet is ascribed to the magician. Now, many times this is incorrectly called Beth. Sirs and madams, it is not the letter Beth. That's an anglicized form. It's the Hebrew letter Beit. Okay, the Hebrew letter Beit, which in Hebrew means house, and in the Kabbalah, the Hebrew letter Beit is ascribed the number 2. So Beit means house. It's a vessel. It is the Hebrew letter that connects Keter to Binah. So Aleph connects Keter to Chokmah, And Beit connects Keter to Binah, just as Gimel connects Keter to Tiferet. So that is what Beit is. Now, if you have a dot, you have the Hebrew letter Beit, right? If there's a dot in it, then it's a Beit. It makes a B sound. But if you take away the dot, then it makes a V sound. Then it's the Hebrew letter Veit. So I'm going to draw this real quick. Note that I am using a pen, and I'm just kind of doing this spur of the moment. That's kind of a crappy letter, but you get the idea. I didn't really do it that well, but that's a Veit with a V. Now if you put a dot in the middle of it, like that, then it's a Beit. So the Hebrew letter, it's Beit, Veit, and it's the first letter of the Bible. Now the Hebrew letter Aleph. Aleph, a lot of times this is incorrectly said. It's not correct, not accurate, y'all. People say that the Hebrew letter Aleph makes an A sound, like an aw, and that's just not accurate. The Hebrew letter Aleph is actually silent. Hebrew letter Aleph has no sound. Now if you put an accent mark under it that looks like a T, then it's ah. Now if you put one dot under it, then it's an E sound. If you put two dots under it, then it's an A sound. So you can ascribe different sounds to Aleph, but basically Aleph is a silent letter. You can put those accent marks under any consonant and it will make the same sound. So Aleph, which is the full, which is numbered 0, Aleph is silent. It's the naught, which is why the full card is numbered 0. It has to do with the unmanifest. It has to do with potential. In other words, the individual, before it has come into contact, before it has donned the social mask, the not, the nothing, but it's not really nothing, it's the absence of things. It's full potential before it reaches manifestation. Now, Beit, the Hebrew letter Beit, is the first moment of creation. Now, in the Bible, the first letter of the Bible is Beit, and it's in the Hebrew letter Bereshit, which means, in Hebrew, the first word of the Bible starts with the letter Beit. The first word in the Bible is Bereshit, in the beginning. Okay? The first sentence of the Bible in the book of Genesis says, Bereshit bara Elohim v'shamayim v'charetz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So, Beit is the beginning of the Bible. The Hebrew letter Beit has to do with in the beginning. Bereshit bara Elohim v'shamayim v'charetz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And of course, the Hebrew word bara, to create. So the Hebrew letter Beit has to do with creation and manifestation. And that's what the tarot card really represents. The magician card in a reading has to do with manifesting your desires. Now, on the table, you have the pentacle, the wand, the sword. Now, the pentacle represents your material resources, like money. What property do you have? Let's say that you have a goal. You have a desire. You're going to have to be the magician. If you want to create your desire, your destiny, you have to focus. You need to use your resources, and that's where the 4 suits come in. That's where the 4 magical tools come in. Your pentacle is your material resources, your money, your possessions. Your cup is your emotions. You know, your wand is your creativity and your will. The sword is your thoughts and your decision making and your planning. So if you have a goal, you need to plan it out. You need to focus your will and harness your emotions and harness your material resources. So the magician card shows someone that is manifesting their desire. Now, with the wand, he holds up to heaven and he points towards the ground. This has to do with the Hermetic maxim, as above, so below. All that is above is a reflection of that which is below, and all that is below is a reflection of that which is above, for the manifestation of the great work, the one great thing. So that means that material things are a reflection of a divine order. And if you can manipulate what is above, then you can control manifestation. This is the secret principle of creation contained within the card, y'all. He also points up to heaven with the wand and points down. This means that he is directing energy from above and channeling that energy down to manifest a desire. So channeling from a higher source down. And that also has to do with the infinity symbol above his head. Now the infinity symbol shows that above him is infinite. He has infinite power. And there is infinite potential right now in your life. Right now you have infinite potential to manifest your desires, manifest your destiny, so to speak. Also notice that the infinity symbol is a number 8 turned sideways. Now some occult sources, I haven't actually looked into it, y'all. Some occult sources say that the number 8 is also a reference to the Ogdoad, the 8th realm. Now in Gnosticism and some forms of Gnosticism and Hermeticism, which is a Greco-Egyptian philosophy from about 2,500 years ago, 2,000 years ago, whatever, you know, Hermeticism, Gnosticism. The Ogdoad, after you ascend the 7 heavens, the 7 realms of the spheres, you come to the Logos, the Word. So you have the infinite Ogdoad, the 8th realm, beyond the heavenly spheres, to the Word. And what is the Word, the Logos? The power of creation. Now the Hebrew letter Beit is Mercury. So the magician is also Mercury, the trickster deity and the magician and the person of knowledge. So in a tarot reading, the magician card upright tells you that you have the ability to create your destiny. It's a very positive card to get because you do have it in you to create. You do have all the resources you need. The wand, pentacle, sword, and all of that. But, there is a but, you need to channel your resources. So you need to channel your resources. Now, so upright, it's a positive sign. In love, if you're doing a reading about love, the magician is positive. Great things will happen. You have the power to create. If you're asking about work, you may get a promotion. It has to do with someone that has such knowledge that even though what they're doing may seem normal to them, to some people it may seem almost like magic. Now when the magician card is reversed, it has to do with the trickster. It has to do with the con artist. So you go from wise magician and magus to the con artist, the trickster, the what do you call it? I can't think of the damn word. The con man, the person that's conning people, the charlatan. So if the card is reversed, it can possibly represent the charlatan or the trickster, and that's certainly a dark aspect of Hermes or Mercury. So anyways, upright, it's very positive. You can create your life, but you do need to use your resources. Reversed, it can be kind of negative. It could represent someone that is a smooth talker and might be manipulating things, possibly in a negative way. And of course it is Mercury, the Hebrew letter Beit, and has to do with creating your life. So anyways, that is the Magician card. And thank you for joining me. Once again, this is Taliesin McKnight, and have a great day, y'all.